I figured I would make a quick video about how I wire up heat tape. So I've got my strips all ready, laid out. Let me check the angle here. Alright, I might have to get a close-up shot, but I'll just do this one here. So I have this, what I call my junk soldering iron. You're gonna need at least one soldering iron for this. I use two, but one would do if you can change tips or clean the tip after the first process. So take my soldering iron, that's all heat up. I let this heat up for a good 10 minutes. And on the silver aluminum rail here on the tape, I just start melting away right at the edge where I want the wires to be. Start melting away the plastic right over the... It's a conductor. It's an aluminum conductor, I guess is what it is. So I'm just pressing on it, rubbing it back and forth, melting away the layer of plastic that's on it, on that conductor. And sometimes when it's a little bit hot, I'll scrape it. Scrape some of that plastic off. And the thing is, you don't want to go too deep. When you start seeing the aluminum scratch off and it's turning pink, it's turning like a copper type color, you're going too far. You'll feel it too once it gets really scratchy. If you're starting to scratch too much, you're starting to take too much off. So, and it'll help once I flow some solder onto there. This is why I use two. I work on electronics, so I happen to have this stuff, so I understand if most people don't have a couple of soldering irons kicking around. But I use one to melt the plastic and the other one to actually solder. Because you get a lot of melted plastic on your soldering tip from doing this. Find a back and forth or circular motion helps get that plastic off. You can kind of scratch away with the tip of the iron too. So maybe I'll try to show you guys. Basically, I just melted and scratched off the plastic film over this aluminum conductor. On the other side, I just use electrical tape and tape up the rails where they were cut. I'll do this one a little bit more. Needs a little bit of help. Alright. So, I would take my clean soldering iron, solder up the tip, apply it to that rail where the plastic is melted. I think the hot solder clears away some of that plastic too as you melt solder onto that rail. So there, I like to get a little pool of solder on there before I even get the wires going. Just put the tip to the aluminum, leave it for a few seconds, flow some solder to it. And when it's pooling up underneath the soldering iron tip, you're off to a good start. So I'll show you guys again. Get just a little pool of solder going to it. Hopefully the lighting's not bad. Alright, so I have these wires I pre-cut and stripped. So I'm gonna go from the bottom heat tape of the rack. I'm doing a rack's worth, which is just 5 strips. So this is gonna be the bottom one with the wires going up, and the plug will end up at the top. That's basically what I'm getting at here. So, this being the last one, it's going to be solo. It's going to be just the one wire strand. Going up until you get to the plug, you're going to have to double up, because we're wiring these in series, I believe it would be. So this end will go to another heat mat. There'll be another wire attached with this one going up to the next, and so on until we're at the end. So, anyways, that's a lot of talking. I'm gonna take out my little cable holder box, and I tin the wiring. Put my tip to the wire, let it heat up a little bit, and start applying some solder. This will just make a better, quicker connection to the solder on the heat mat. So hopefully you can see that. I gotta get some lights and camera skills. So first one, this is gonna be at the back of the rack, and these are the long ones, the long wires, so they will go here. So this is the tricky part. Sometimes getting this to kind of stay without having a third hand. Sometimes I put something underneath the heat mat just to prop it up against that wire. I'm not sure if any of this is making sense or visible. Is visible. Maybe I'll move the camera for this to hopefully give you guys a shot of this. All on the fly, we're just doing it as we go. Try to work around the camera here. You don't want to leave the tip on the mat for too long. Alright. Okay, I'm going to do a bunch of these and show you after. Stand by. Okay, so I've got my strips all wired up here, my strips of heat mat. And now basically what I do is I go to all the solder joints, all the connections, and I just basically go around and insulate stuff. So just put some electrical tape down. It's not always going to look pretty, but as long as it's functional, it doesn't matter. I'll show you once I have this a little more secured there. So I pretty much do that to every connection just to insulate it, make sure no bare wires sticking through anywhere. Make sure your connections are nice and solid too, like right after you solder them. And that's pretty much it. I'll go ahead and tape all of these. Goes to just a regular 2-prong electrical cord at the end. So I can plug them right in to test that they work. Within a few minutes they should be warm to the touch. And that's pretty much it. Then I'll just tape them with aluminum tape that they used for air duct repair. Yeah, just aluminum tape down onto the shelves, and that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I know this wasn't the best video, but hopefully it's shown the process well enough. If you have any questions, comment down below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I'll be posting more videos about snake-related things. Thanks. Take care. Alright. So I just realized I didn't really explain how this stuff is wired. So, say you have your 2-prong plug here. Snip it and strip it. Tin the wires with the solder. So it doesn't matter which side goes to which. Just one side of the wire goes to one side and the other to the other rail. And then you would just copy that wiring over to the next mat. So it'd just be this wire would have a second wire attached with it going to this one. This wire would have a wire going to that one. This one would have another wire going up to the next mat, and this one to the back rail of the next mat, and so on. So I thought I would just add that just so it's very clear that it's a 2-prong plug. One side goes to each. And that's it. They're just wired together in series for as many as you want. Plug it into a thermostat so it doesn't overheat. And there you go. Thought I would just clear that up. Alright, so this is the back side of the rack. Heat matting is all taped in there. Everything's wired up. And I'm going to flip this around, put tubs in, and that'll be it. Alright, so this is the final product here. Basically, I had gotten a shelf, or a 3-shelf bookcase from Walmart for fairly cheap. Added a couple of my own shelves. I had wood kicking around in the garage, so I just made it a 5-shelf for all these little tubs. I got these from a hardware store, department store type thing, and that's it. 6-quart tubs, 15 of them, in this little bookcase that I MacGyvered into a snake rack. That's it. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I keep thinking the video is done, but I keep having more to show you. So I think now I'm really done. Thanks for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. And I'll be back with more videos soon. Take care.